Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. I'm going to be doing the pre-rolls for 5 Parsecs from Home, turn number 11. Can't believe it's been 11 rounds, or 10, and now I'm starting the 11th. So, I'm going to be starting on page 68, which is the campaign turn. A lot of these steps I'm going to skip because I'm not going to be traveling. I'm not going to be changing worlds this turn. So I'm skipping the flea invasion and decide whether to travel. Won't be doing that at all. So don't need to roll a travel event. So I am now on key 4, and I need to start working through the steps here. So. Check for rivals. Any rivals you have, roll a d6 on a 5+, they follow you. Well, I don't have to do that. Dismiss patrons, I did that. Check for licensing, I did that. I've already calculated the world trait. So all that's been done. So basically, I'm starting on page 76 with upkeep and repair. Now, right now I have, I think it was 18 credits. Let me get my sheet out here. I know it was 18. Come on, where is it? I have to double check my notes, but I'm pretty sure. Let me just go back. 18 credits. So I have 18 credits to my name. I'm going to be paying 3 for upkeep because it's 1 for a crew to 4 to 6, and then 1 credit for each additional past 6. I have 8. So I'm paying -3 credit for upkeep. That's always the hardest part. Ship debt is 0. Ship repairs, I am currently at 34. I get 1 free damage repair, so that'll take it up to 35. So I'm back up to full hull strength. And that really hasn't come into play in this game when I've traveled. With such a high hull strength of 35, I don't know. I know during the travel events that sometimes things can happen where you take damage to your ship, but it really hasn't been an issue for me. And I think this is like my 5th planet that I visited, so who knows. Pay for medical care, don't have any, so don't have to do that. And now the fun part, assign tasks. Okay, right now I have 2 patrons on this planet. That's going to help me with my, I'm sorry, not 2, I have 1. I have 1 new patron that, because I was successful in the job, I kept that patron. So that will allow me to add +1 to the roll when I do find a patron. So right now, these are the tasks I can do. Find patron. And you always want to do, well, you don't always want to do this, but this is a good thing to do because it gives you more job opportunities to choose from. I can train. I can trade. I don't need to recruit. I can explore. I don't need to track because I don't have a rival that I want to have a showdown with. I can repair, but I don't have anything to repair. And I can decoy, but I don't have any rivals that are currently looking for me. So basically, I've got 4 things to do: train, find patron, trade, explore. That's it. And you can dedicate 2 crew members maximum to a task. So this is good. I'll just give each one of them 2 of my crew, and it doesn't really matter. If I was doing a repair, it would matter who I assigned, but these others, it doesn't matter who you assign them. So I'll just go down the list here. I'm going to assign my captain and 6 to find patrons. To train will be Droon and let's do Huala because he's got 5x. Well, let's do Surge. He needs more XP. He doesn't get a whole lot of experience. Trade will be they and Huala. And explore will be Freak and Blue Eyes. Okay. Now, for a patron, you roll 2d6. No, you roll a d6. On a result of 5 or higher, you find a patron. You get to add +1 for each current patron you have which I have 1, and then you add 1 for each crew member that you are assigning. So I'm adding +3 to the roll. So, and I can spend credits to add +1 credit means +1, and I can do that after I roll. So I rolled a 5, so 5 plus 3 is 8. So I have found 2 patrons. 1 is my existing, so I found 2. 1 is existing, which is the wealthy guy I just did, and 1 is a new. So I get to keep the wealthy client and roll on the rolls for a wealthy client. Train. Characters can improve their scores. Each one earns +1 XP. So Droon and Surge each get +1 XP. Trade. Each crew member rolls once on the trade table, which is on page 79. This is a D100 roll. So green is high. I rolled an 86 for the first one. 86 is gently used. Roll once on the gear table. This item is damaged and needs repair. So page 132 on the gear table. Page 132, I rolled a 68, which is protective item. So they found a protective item, and I have to roll to see what that is. And there is a subtable called protective item, and that is a 46, which is a deflector field. That sounds pretty cool. It's damaged, but I can repair it next turn, since I didn't assign anybody to repair. Okay. Now the other person, Huala, on the trade table, I rolled a 17, which is a bit of scrap. You sell it to an interesting party, +1 credit. All right, scrap, +1 credit. All right, so 18 minus 3 is 15 plus 1, so I'm currently at 16 credits. And now I do the Explorer, and the Explorer will be Freak. His roll is 47. A Tech Fanatic offers to help out. Pick a damaged item and roll a d6. On a 5 to 6, you have it fixed for free. An Engineer instead spends the afternoon talking shop. If you have it. An Engineer instead spends the afternoon talking shop, earning 2 XP. So I could give one of my engineers 2 XP, or let's roll to see if the deflector shield's repaired. I need a 5 or 6. I rolled a 5, so it is fixed. That worked out. All right, and then let's keep going. The Blue Eyes will roll on his Explorer, which is a 99. I haven't rolled that before. 99. This place is really rather nice. When you are ready to leave this world, unless it is being invaded, you must pay 1 story point, or this crew member will decide to stay behind. I don't want Blue Eyes to stay behind, so I'm going to go ahead and pay that story point. So I'm back down to 5 story points. So -1 story point for when we leave. All right. That's fine. So I have 16 credits. I'm down to 5 story points. And I got some XP for some of my guys. And the deflector shield. Let's see what that is. I'm curious. Let's go look that up. Deflector shield. Deflector shield is on page 55. Deflector shield. Deflector field, excuse me. Automatically deflects a single ranged weapon's hit per battle. After a hit is scored, decide if you wish to use the field before any rolls for toughness or armor are made. Nice. Yes, that is awesome. So, if it hits, if I get hit by a ranged weapon, after the hit, decide if you wish to use it before any rolls for toughness are made. Automatically affects a single ranged hit per battle, so it recharges. So that's really nice. I'll have to decide who gets that. All right, let's keep going. Now I'm back to determine job offers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a possible opportunity job and 2 patron jobs. Now, one of them, we'll go patron 1, patron 2, and opportunity. All right, patron 1 is the wealthy client. Patron number 2, you roll a d10 on page 83 to see what type it is. And 8, a private organization. Okay, private organization. All right, and the opportunity is just what it is. All right, so let's do the patrons first. The danger pay. Private and wealthy have no modifiers to anything, so that's good to know. All right, so we'll go 1, 2. So for patron 1, the danger pay is a 9, which is plus 3 credits. Plus 3 danger pay. And patron number 2 is 10. Plus 3 and roll twice. Plus 3 credits and roll twice, picking the higher die when rolling for mission pay after the battle. Roll 2x and pick highest mission pay. That's pretty good. But we'll keep going. Time frame for patron number 1 is a 10 anytime. That's always good to know. I can come back to this job. I can do this one and then come back to that one. Could I have done that on the previous jobs? I don't think so. I think they had a time limit. Oh no, I did this one which had any time. And this one, this plus 2 turns. So actually I did this and I said skip this. I could have come back. But it only has plus 1 danger pay, so I'm not going to worry about going back at that one. So let's do time frame for this one. 5, which is this turn. So I think that pretty much tells me that this job, depending on the opportunity, this job may be the one we do. All right, let's go for benefits. Let's do benefits, hazards, and conditions for all 3. Okay, the benefits for a wealthy, I have to roll a 5 or higher. I did not, so there are none there. On the patron number 2, is a private org. Doesn't matter, I rolled a 1, which isn't going to be anything. Private there's no benefits. All right. For hazards on a wealthy is 8 or higher, which is not. On a private organization is an 8 or higher, which there is. All right, so there is a hazard. And conditions for a wealthy is 8 or higher, no. And for a private is an 8 or higher, which is not. So no conditions. I do need to roll for the hazard. The hazard for this job is a 7, which is low priority. Reduce enemy by number 1. N-1 for enemy. Okay. That's good. All right, and there were no conditions. All right. So now let's roll the opportunity. So it says you got to choose your battle. All right, so let's... Actually, maybe I don't get to do that. For the opportunity, I think I have to choose. I either choose the patron job. Yeah, I don't get to do that. Okay, so I either choose the patron job or carry out an opportunity mission. If you are not attacked, you may select from any one of the options below if they're available. Carry out a patron job. Carry out an opportunity mission. And so you don't, yeah, so I can't, I may have been reading this wrong, but I think this is right. You can't just say, oh, let me see what's available and then pick one. You have to pick one. So I'm going to pick the patron number 2 job because it has to be done this turn. It's got that plus 3 danger pay, but I can also roll twice on the higher and pick the higher mission pay, and the enemy is N-1. This other one has 3 danger pay and can be done anytime, so I could do it next turn or the one after that or the one after that. So let's keep going here. Let's go figure out who I'm fighting. All right. So this is a patron job. Patron, and it was a private organization. It's the Red Cross, right? I roll a D100 on the patron column to see who I'm going up against. That is a 0-2, which is... this is deployment conditions. Sorry, I'm rolling on the wrong thing. Deployment conditions are 0-2. That's right, I'm not there yet. Deployment condition, no conditions. All right, so there's no weather conditions. There's nothing limiting how many of my crew can go. That's good. Notable sight. Notable sight. D100. This is on page 89 if you're following along. That is a 60, which is shiny bits. Gain 1 credit, plus 1 credit. And again, this will be placed 2d6 plus 2 inches random from center. It's not a lot. 1 credit, we'll see. All right, now it's the objective. So far, I've done move through, patrol, patrol. I think I did access, maybe. I can't remember. I should have kept track of all the different ones. All right, so I'm doing a patron mission. So I roll on the D10 chart on page 89. I rolled a 9, which is fight off. All right, fight off. That probably means I got to kill them all. Fight off is there is no objective other than driving off the enemy. To win, you must hold the field. Must hold field to win. Okay, I can do that. Let's see. That's the objective. I'm not doing a rival. Determine the enemy. Here we go. The enemy. And it's on page 94. Okay, here we go. All right, so there's a table here on page 94 that is broken up by opportunity, patron, quest, or unknown rival. I'm doing a patron, so I'm rolling on this column, and I'm rolling a D100, and I rolled a 21, which is criminal element again. All right, criminal element. All right, so here's the deal with the criminal elements. When setting up, you are facing some sort of outlawed enterprise. When setting up, roll a d6. If the score is 1 to 3, that many bonus credits will be paid out. I always forget to do this, so I'm going to do it right now. Roll a d6. If the score is 1 to 3, it's 4, so I don't get any bonus credits. All right. Career criminals also tend to get even. When rolling to see if a defeated criminal group becomes a rival, you must roll 2d6 with a 1 on either die indicating you've acquired them as rivals. If both dice score a 1, they hate you, they become rivals, and will increase their number encountered by +1 in all battles. Okay, so when rolling to see if a defeated criminal group becomes a rival. So there's a point where you roll to see if they become a rival, and I'll have to remember to do that. 2d6 to see it. All right, so now I'm rolling on the criminal element table, which starts on page 94 and goes through page 96. You roll a d100 to see who you're going to be fighting. 71. 71 is Kirin Outlaws. I think I've fought these guys before. Maybe not. Kirin Outlaws. I think I have. They are number +1. So that balances this -1 that I rolled for their what was it? Where was it? -1. The low priority hazard. So their number is +1. They are panic on a 1. Their speed is 4 inches. Their combat is +1. Their toughness is 4. They are an aggressive battle tactic, and their weapon is 2A. All right. So, and it says, stubborn. They ignore the first casualty when making a morale check. Ignore first casualty. So only after the second one will you have to roll morale. Okay, now let's go back and we figure out how many we have. So to determine the number, for a campaign crew size of 6, which I am, you roll 2d6 and you take the higher result. I got a 1 and a 6, so I guess we're going with a 6. And then it modifies. Okay, so the number is +1, so it goes to 7, but back here for the hazard, its condition is -1, so it's back down to 6. So we have 6 enemies right now. Haven't rolled yet on the unique. If you encounter 3 to 6, 1 will be a specialist. And then it says further, if you encounter 4 or more opponents, 1 will be a lieutenant. So once again, I'm going to have 1 lieutenant, 1 specialist, and 4 thugs. And the lieutenant, as always, gets +1 combat and get a knife, I believe, a blade. Yeah, blade. And the specialist just gets to roll on a special weapon. They don't carry a normal weapon like the thugs do. Okay, now we roll for unique individual. And the way this works is you roll 2d6. Add 1 if it's an interested party. It's not. On a roll of 9 or higher, you get a unique individual. I rolled a 10. So yeah, I have a unique individual. I could burn a story point to re-roll that, but I'll take on a unique individual. So you go back to the unique individual columns or section, which is on page 105. And this is a D100. All right, so the uniques are fearless and not affected by morale. They may follow a different AI routine. Many unique individuals have luck. All right, let's see who we're going to be going up against. That is a 12, which is an enemy heavy with a rattle gun. So it's just a normal enemy, but he's got a rattle gun, and he's unique. Rattle gun, and it's no modifiers to... Now, his AI is a D, so he's defensive. So he'll just hang back and provide cover fire. And he has no luck. So, without getting too jumpy, I'm not super worried right now, mainly because the toughness of all these guys is 4. The lieutenant has combat +2, but everyone else is +1. And they outnumber me by 1. I'll be bringing 6 players to their 7, but I think we can do okay. And that's it for the unique individual. I think that's it. So the next thing we'll do is the next video will be the battle report for turn 11. I'll be going up against this criminal element of Kieran Outlaws that includes 6 enemies plus 1 unique. And I really want to, I have to hold the field, which means I basically got to run them all off or kill them. But if I do, I get +1 credit for a notable sight. I get +3 danger pay. I get 2 rolls for the pay, and I get to take the higher of the 2. And that's good. That's a good bit of combat right there. All right. So hopefully you'll join me on the next video in the 5 Parsecs from Home series. It will be the battle report turn 11. And we'll see how this crew does against this group of criminals. That's throwing stones, isn't it? I think my guys are sort of criminals. All right, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me in this short playthrough video for 5 Parsecs from Home. And join me in the next video that will be coming out very soon. Till then, everybody, take care.